This video will show you how to put together this strawberry cupcake box card, which is an SVG file from Simply Crafty SVGs. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make this strawberry cupcake card. This is a finished version, so I made this one for my mother. So it's a little bit dark on top, but she was a chocolate freak. So different one. I'll put a little tag on top, but put the tag of your choice, a little sentiment. So let's go ahead. It's a pretty simple card. We have, I chose this for the frosting. So it'll just layer like that. I have two of those, so we only need one. And then we have these for these panels, so those will be pieced together, and this is the actual card. So I'm going to put the card aside for now, and we are going to piece together these items. So let's start with the smallest one. So this is strawberry. So I would just make sure you're putting it the correct direction. I didn't put the stem on it because when they get really thick, didn't need it, eat it. So we wanted to put it on like that, so I'm going to flip it over. And when you add glue, I'm using Barely Art glue. Came out fast. Usually I use their bottle, but I'm having some problems with the tip on that bottle. So I have some in this fine tip applicator. So Barely Art, if you've never heard of it. I like art glue too. So I want to start at the tip here. Line it up and make sure you don't have too much glue in the openings or near the openings. So it lines up, easier to flip it over to check. Then we'll add this piece. So make sure you're putting the glue on the correct side. I'm using American Crafts textured cardstock. So I'm just lining that up to the cut on the top. To move it over just a little bit. I could see the yellow get it as close as possible so I couldn't see the yellow. So now I inked them a little bit with some of this powder puff chalking ink, but you can always use distress ink or any other kind of ink. And we'll put these on this big piece, which represents the cupcake. I said you could make it chocolate. I made it chocolate for my mother because she likes chocolate. She's turning 89 in April, this is 2023. And you can line it up. I didn't do the greatest line-up job there. Let's compensate here. And then we go ahead and put the strawberry on top. So literally this is probably the hardest part of this card. It's just not hard at all. So I'm just going to flip it over and make sure to get it lined up. It's pretty strong, which is nice to put on the card. And then we'll take this piece and we're just going to put that on there. So the only thing we'll have to do after we do this, and then the front and back panels of the cupcake, will be to just assemble it, which is pretty easy. So just line it up. You can always check the back, make sure it's lined up. And these will be 2 tabs, so I'm just going to fold those back while I have it here. Then we need to glue these on. So when you put these on, they're the same shape as that. Just go ahead and just go light around with your glue. You could do little dots too. I'll do dots in between because I don't need that much glue in between, but you don't want to get them too close to the openings so the glue doesn't run through. Shadows are getting me on it today. Go line it up at the bottom and kind of drop it. You could start at the top too, since we have the scallop edge. So I figure this is like one of those, I wanted a simple card to make, but it wasn't super hard to do and you could use it for a lot of birthdays. So you can change the colors on this. This is the reason I like to do generic birthday cards, because we always need one no matter what. So line those up. If you do like this project, if you could give me a little like or thumbs up, I would appreciate it. And if you haven't not already done so, subscribe to our channel. And if you hit that little notification bell to the right, you'll be notified when we have new projects, new content, anything like that. So now we have all these done. Now all we've got to do is fold this. So it folds like this. And again, this is a pretty simple card. It's A2 size purposely because that's the most common envelope out there, and it fits sideways in. So it's almost 4.25 by 5.5. I always give it a little bit more because of the topper there. So once you have this folded, I consider that really the front. So we're going to flip it upside down. Can't put those on until we get the insert in. Oops, let me not drop that. So this would be upside down like that. So what we want to do is glue. These are folded backwards. Flip it over. Take the, once it's flipped over, the left tab, add glue to left tab. And we're going to line it up. So the important thing is to line it up this edge, and you'll see why in a minute. Pretty close to this. So you want this edge to be slightly to the right of the fold right here. But you also need to make sure that this is above that. So if you can see that, that's above it, because when it folds, we don't want this getting stuck on it. So I'm really close to it. So make sure that's like that. And then you can fold it over. So you don't need to go all the way to the edge, but you can go as close to that as you want to, this little fold. But just don't go over it. So now I'm going to fold it like this. Pull that back. And you want really this top edge to be right there. So right close to that. So I got it crooked a little bit. So I got it a little bit, needs to be a little bit, make sure you go a little higher than I did. But we want it to be able to open well. So you see I need that to clear. See how that clears? So that doesn't get stuck right there. Then we can fold this in. So the tab inside, and then we'll just flatten it right over there. So it'll stand up, but it looks kind of funny right now. I need to get the front on, the front and back. So let me do the back first. So they're both the same size. So you just want to add glue here. And then line it up at the bottom. So this part right here is the same width right here. So just line it up down there And then it should line up towards the top. So you also want to make sure it lines up at the top. So that's your second check. Because we have a little scallop section up there. So same thing. So you want to make sure you can do it from the top or bottom, but really to get it in place you need to use that bottom. So this is it. This will finish it. So you could just print any tag, make your own. You know, it's so easy these days. So I get it in place and then I just make sure that it lines up at the top. Could just be a plain old happy birthday. It could be personalized, whatever it is. So that's it. So it flattens to go into the envelope. But then it goes up. So it'll look like that when you look at it from the front. Whatever paper. So you could use solid paper like this. So I embossed and put stickles on this one. Or something like that. It's just a simple card.